Thank you and welcome to my presentation about my project that I made this past summer while I was interning at Salesforce inside of Heroku. The tool that we created was the GitHub triage tool, and I created this tool with one other intern, Paras Adhikary. So a little bit about us. My name is Nathan Patnam. I go to Wofford College in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and I'm studying computer science. And my favorite food this summer was the Oasis Grill lamb gyro. I used to have one of those at least once a week. My manager was Jesse White. My mentors Malad Ayman and Sama Rowe. So here's a little bit of background information about Heroku. So Heroku has thousands of GitHub repositories, and some of those repositories are open source and some of them are private. And so when issues are created in these GitHub repos, they need to be triaged into Salesforce's grand unified system called Gus. Gus is used by all of Salesforce employees, and that's what we use for our ticketing system to kind of showcase ongoing work. So the problem is that there's no automated system in place to validate if an issue has been triaged in Gus or not. And so this is a manual, tedious process of looking at issues and looking through Gus to see if there is a link. And so what that means is that software engineers and even managers and executives have to go through each GitHub issue and then go through Gus to see if there's an accompanying Gus link. And this can take a lot of time, if not hours, every week, which can result in thousands of dollars of lost in just idle time. And so it's difficult to manage issues over these multiple GitHub repos. And sometimes different users care about different repos. And so the biggest thing is that we want to make sure that when someone inside the company versus someone outside the company is opening up the issue, that issue still gets triaged in Gus. So the solution that we created over the past summer was we created a web application that allows the Heroku employees to be able to log in and view all the GitHub real issues that are pertinent to them. We're using two-factor Heroku GitHub authentication to log in, and we can filter issues by whether they've been triaged in Gus yet and their status of whether they're an open or closed issue. Users can close and reopen an issue, as well as add a Gus link to an issue with one click. And then when a link gets added as a comment, and so when a Gus link gets added, it also gets added as a link to the GitHub issues. That way it helps with documenting it for later on. So for the tech stack that we used, for our front end, we used Ember.js and Purple 3. For the data layer, we used GraphQL, specifically being GitHub's GraphQL API. For testing, we used QUnit and Mirage. And then for CI/CD, we used Heroku and Heroku CI. So time to show you a little bit of demo. So before I get into the demo, let me show you some information. So imagine that we have a demo repo and we have one open issue and we have one closed issue. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the website. So let's open it up right here. And when I go to this website, the first thing I'll be asked to do is log into Heroku. So I'll put in my credentials right now. So there's my credentials, and then I'm able to do that. And then once that happens, I get a two-factor code to log in. So I'll use that right now. And then after that happens, I'm now able to log into GitHub. So I'll do that right now. And now I'm setting authentication code. So we have a lot of authentication on this application. So once I log in, I'm shown all the organizations that my GitHub account belongs to that has access to this web service. So I can view that simply by going to my settings in GitHub, and I'll be able to see, or my bad, if I go to my profile in GitHub, you'll be able to see all the organizations that I'm a part of. And these three are the ones I'm able to use this application with. So let's say I go to this organization called $0, and I'm able to see all the teams in this organization that I am a part of. So if I go to $0, and then I go to teams, you can see that all these teams are what I'm a member of, except this one right here, HEOLO. I'm not a member of that, and that's why it doesn't appear over here. So now if I go inside of, let's say, a demo team, so if I open up the demo team is responsible for repositories. So the issues I'm about to see are all the issues in all these repos. So right now I only have one repo just to make it easier, but here's the demo repo. And so in the demo repo, we have two issues, one open and one closed. So if I go to the demo team, you see how it says that it's only watching one repo, being that demo repo. If I click on view team on GitHub, we can see it here on GitHub. But if I click on view issues, now I'm given to the view of what I see. So I'm able to see when this issue was created, when it was last updated, the labels attached to it. If I click on it, I'm able to see all the information in the body of it, which you can see right here, and the markdown renders out. I'm able to see the status of it, and I have this identifier here. I'm able to also filter by all the issues or closed issues or open issues. So I can see that all right here. And then I'm also able to filter on whether they not have a Gust link right now. So this is what a Gust link could look like. So if I open this issue up on GitHub, we'll see that there is a Gust link right here. I won't give you a specific Gust link, but this is kind of how the format works, where you have gust.someinformation.com/someinformation, and that'll point to the correct Gust link. And so for issues without Gust links in the GitHub issue, it appears as something like this, where we can add a link to it. If I go back to the all view, we have support of being able to open and close issues from this web service. So if I click on reopen and click on confirm, the demo repo number 2 becomes open. If I click on it and view on GitHub, you see that it's open as well. It changes from being closed like it was before. And vice versa, if I have an open issue and I open it up on GitHub, you'll see that it's open. But then if I close the issue, you'll see now that it's closed. And so we have that, and so we're using GitHub's GraphQL API to do these mutations. We're able to sort based off when they were last updated, when they were created, and we're able to see all the labels that are applicable. I'm able to then filter off of it. So let's say I only wanted to see based off the title. So if I type in open issue, you see how the open one came and not the closed one. I'm able to go off of labels. So let's say I wanted all the issues with the question label with it. And then I'm also able to view it in GitHub. And then the last thing that we're able to do is we're able to add a Gust link to the issue. So let's say I have a Gust link I wanted to add right here. I'll just type it in. The Gust link gets added. And then when I go view it on GitHub, you'll see that that Gust link is right there for future reference. And so that's basically all we have right now. We have server-side sorts that'll get the most recent information, and it will show you those titles and those repos. But yeah, that was about it for that. We supported pagination. It was really cool to be able to work on pagination and figure out how cursors worked inside of GraphQL to be able to get more issues for some of the bigger repositories and organizations like in Heroku. And we're able to do some batching to help with that process. So that was it for the demo. If I go back to the presentation, key takeaways I've learned is that Heroku is a remote team, and so it was very nice to be able to work with engineers all across the world. I really enjoyed my experience. And lessons learned, learning how to make smaller PRs, learning how to use Heroku CI to automate my workflows was a great experience from this summer. These are the people I want to thank because this project couldn't have been made without it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this demo, and I hope you enjoyed it.